everybody, today I am going to be doing the server makes you morph challenge on wcue. So let's get into it. Here you can see me running through the crowd looking for somebody. This is who I chose to give me my primary color because I really like their morph. So first I asked if they were busy because I never want to interrupt anything like a trade that's going on, like maybe I get in the middle of it, you know? So then they said they weren't, and then I asked them for the primary color and they said to do a tan. So I really like that choice. Here I am complimenting their morph, but I really like that choice. I found it a little hard to do in the beginning because I didn't know what tan, like whether it should be an orangey tan or like a more brackish tan, but you'll see what I ended up doing. So here I am creating the morph. I actually sped this video up by a lot because it took me so long to figure out which tan I wanted to do. So I kind of made it like a fade to a darker tan through the middle. And then I added the cape and then like did all that. I colored everything I wanted to color. I adjusted the shoulders every now and then because I couldn't figure out if I wanted the top to be lighter or darker than the bottom. So then I made all of my secondary colors gray, which is what I'm doing now. And I made all my tertiary colors white, which is going to be the third color I'm doing. Right, they said the morph looked good, so I took their word for it. And then I ran through the crowds again looking for somebody. I just saw somebody who was like laying alone, so I was like, let me ask them. They're not busy, I don't think. But still, I asked if they were AFK or tabbed because they were sleeping, and a lot of people use that emote when they're not like at the device they're using. So they said no. Then I asked them to give me a secondary color to fill in the gray because they said they were lagging, and I said no worries. So after a while, they decided on a dark caramely color. So I wasn't really sure how to make that in the editor, but I did end up figuring it out, and they did like it. So right here you can see me trying to decide on a caramely color. I recolor it a few times until I finally decide on one, and I decided to make those fade again like I did with the body, and I made it going from light on the top of the legs to dark. Then I moved on to the face. You can see me doing that here. Then I moved to the legs again because I didn't really quite like how the thigh was looking and the shoulders were looking underneath the cape, so I made them a caramely color too. Here, much like the first time again, I'm asking them how it looks. I give them a little circle. They said it was pretty, so again, I took their word for it and went to find my next person that I was going to ask. So there was a lot of people, not really a lot, but a lot of people on this server to what I'm usually joining because I usually join the smaller servers. So I was like, I don't know who to ask. So that person I just went up to was AFK. I did put a few chats out and they didn't respond, so either they were AFK or just ignoring me. Either way, so then I go over to the same corner I was at previously and ask this person who had said a few things in chat. So I knew they weren't AFK. They had just made it more for somebody and the person left. So I was like, do you want to fill in my tertiary color, which is the white? They said yes. They said too, like a creamy white. So that's what I did. And I felt bad that their person who requested them had left. Again, like the last editing video, I sped this one up by a ton. In the beginning there, you could see me choosing the color I wanted to do. I couldn't really decide if I wanted to do an orangey cream or like a brackish cream. I think I decided on doing a little bit of both. I do change a little bit later in the video, the face anyway. once again I joined because I was gonna ask them how it looked, but then I noticed I didn't color the eyelids, and that made me really upset. So I went ahead and colored them, although I changed it later in the video once again. Anyways, I didn't ask the person how it looked that time because I think I forgot. So here I am running around looking crazy, honestly. Deciding on this harp seal. I think seals are really cute. So I was like, hey, do you want to give me an eye color? Which they gave me a light amber, and then a lash type or lid type. They said bottom lashes with a grumpy lid, which I really like bug eye, so I was hoping they weren't going to say anything. But I took it anyway, because it honestly made the morph look really good at me, in my opinion. Once I get in the editor, I decide to the grumpy lid like they had asked and the bottom eyelashes. Then I decided to change the eyelid to the darker color like I was just saying. And I changed the nose bridge. I don't think you can really see it, but I did. Then I changed it to amber. Once I got in the game, I asked just to make sure it was those amber eyes because they looked not that ambery to me, but I don't know what amber looks like. I just know it's orange. Anyways, they said yeah, that was the right one. So then I went on my way and looked for another person again, and I went up to that person. So here I am asking about ears. I asked if they had an ear type or an ear fluff, if any, in mind. Here I'm looking at my morph and admiring it in all its beauty, I guess. They ended up saying the wispy inner ear tufts, so I went into the editor. As you see, I don't know why I pulled up my name, but I choose the wispy inner ear tufts, and I actually also choose to do the droopy ear tufts because I just think they're so adorable. So yeah. I'm back in the game now, and I thank them for giving me the wispy inner ear tufts, I guess. Then I run off and I go to this sleeping person. I hoped they weren't AFK. I asked if they would give me a skin color for the cat. It took them a few minutes to respond, and I don't blame them because that was a random question. I should have said hello before, but I didn't. So then they were like, what? And I was like, could you give me a skin color for this cat if you're willing to? Because like, I'm not going to pressure somebody into doing it. And they were like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean skin color for the cat? So, then I went on to explain. I was like, for the nose, the inner ears, the paws, etc. And they were like, oh, that, like, okay. Anyway, they ended up saying, I think it was a gray or a brown. And I wasn't really sure how to do that once again. Because there's not a brown like nose or ear or paw skin in the game. So I let them think for a few minutes before they decided. I didn't mind. I wasn't in a rush or didn't have anything to do. It's like 2 in the morning. So here they are telling me a brown or gray. So when I go into the editor, you can see me trying out different colors on the nose because I wasn't quite sure. The gray just didn't look like it fit to me, honestly. So then I went on to these reddish colors, like these, what I would describe as orangish even. But they looked brownish because brown is a dark orange. So yeah, I did those ones. I think I then went on to look for another person again, and I saw that possum. I was like, wait, that's a really nice possum morph. I was looking at this Pride Morph Maker because I was like, what does their bio say? Because certain people's bios, they're like, do not interact unless friends, like stuff like that. So I just like try to make sure that I'm not interacting with somebody who doesn't want to be interacted with. I didn't realize these people were trading. So I had like a whole conversation with myself before I realized, oh, they're trading. So that was really embarrassing. I was gonna go to this morph fixer right here, but they weren't moving around a lot, and I was like, are they okay? So you could see me turn away, and cause then the opossum was speaking, so like they did a little open mouth emoji, like, so I was like, wait, are they trading too? So then I was double embarrassed. Then I went over to these people in the corner and was like, hello. I forgot what I asked. Oh yeah, I asked them like for a pattern, and they decided for me. They gave me the broken mackerel body stripe and the single back stripe, I believe, and they had asked what game passes I have, and I told them. So this person was like, I wanted to give you the clotted stripes, but I'm gonna let my friend pick. So I was like, you could pick the color if you'd like to. And then this other person came, so I assumed they were trading once again. That was like a triple whammy. I was afraid. I was embarrassed. I was stressed. I was terrified. So here I am waiting for their friend or partner or whoever it was to come back. So I'm just sitting there. I'm admiring this person's morph because that's honestly like a really nice combo in my opinion. Here I'm just messing with the ears because I like to do that. If you haven't noticed throughout the video, then I noticed, hey, their friend's back. They tell me which to do, which I already told you all, but it was the single body stripe, the single back stripe, and the broken mackerel. Then I joined back in the game to ask for the color, as you can see. Then their friend like ran all the way around the map and came back. I was like, Anyway, here I am waiting for the answer, and they're like, that made me laugh. The OMG, I'm gonna drool. I was like, LOL, that was hilarious. Then they started panicking. Then that person played a Star Clan. I really liked that. That was really funny. And then their friend came back. They had ran around the entire world. Anyway, they were like, friend, do you want to pick the color? Because I had offered it to them. And then they were like, because they were panicking as well. And then they just said dark base color, but darker. So here I am. You can see me deciding. I took the head color and put it on the back like that. I think it looked nice because I ended up keeping it. You're going to see that was way too dark. I don't know why I decided on that. You're going to see me change the shoulders a lot on this one too. It's just the shoulders, they're messing me up today. I messed up a few times on those forearms and that back ankle thing, I guess. Then I did the underbelly and the inner legs. Then I think I go and change the shoulders again. Oh, I'm changing the face. I didn't even know I did that. Oh yeah, that was me saying like this would be a perfect color. I wish I would have chosen this color instead. So then I'm going to change the shoulders again, then I joined back. After changing them back to what they were at the beginning. This person says it was great before I could even ask. And then I was like, awesome, thank you. Then I ran away. I ran up to this person right here. To my left. I was like, their bio said song suggestions. I was like Engine 9 by Deftones because it's like my favorite song at the moment. So then I was like, do you have like a fluff length for this morph? Which would be like the fur length, literally. I'm pretty sure they said mid-length. They were like, I don't know what they typed in the beginning, but I assumed it was mid-length because it said MEDILNE. I was like, so like mid-fluff? Question mark? Because I was confused. I really was. So, but then they confirmed. I was like, oh, okay, that's not horrible. That's not that bad at all, actually. Personally, I love doing fluff. So, this is a really sped up video of me changing the shoulders once again. Can't get a break out here. Then this is me going to the fur, changing it every 5 seconds because I can't decide on what I want to do. I hated that long ear fur, so I changed it to by like #1 spiky face fur because that's my favorite thing ever. I love it so much. here you can just see me adjusting the furs I want to do. Because like I said before, can't decide. I feel like I made it too fluffy still, but I don't really care that much. It could have been fluffier, so fight me. Please don't. Then I went in and colored all the furs. As you can see, I adjusted them a lot because I literally couldn't decide on what I wanted to do. I changed the mane like 3 times already, and here I am still changing it. So then I'm just going in and coloring everything like I just said. I recolored the thighs and the arms because frankly I didn't like them. Then I go to the tail and I decide on the rough tail fur just because I think it looked the best for this morph, because the morph was already looking pretty rough, dare I say. So then I spawned and then went back and saved it because I forgot to save it. So yeah, that was the video. If you liked it, feel free to like. This is how the morph ended up turning out. I really like it personally. If you don't, that's your business, not mine. Here's like a 360-ish of the morph. Oh. So yeah. Bye everybody.